Why do we so often make ourselves miserable by getting angry over things that don't even affect us? Why do we let a 10-word headline trigger an entire emotional meltdown, as if that's enough information to form an opinion on a complex issue? What does all this constant judging really do to us spiritually? And how does it impact our peace and alignment with the truth? In a world overloaded with noise, it's so easy to get lost in the chaos. But what if there were another way? What if we could let go of the drama and focus on the one true reality, where peace, love, and abundance are always available? Recently, a highly divisive politician, we'll call him Gary, made headlines by announcing that he was placing trade tariffs on certain goods coming from specific countries. And of course, the reaction was instant and, well, completely polarized. Gary's supporters claimed it was a fantastic move, a bold but obvious step to protect their country's interests. On the other hand, Gary's opponents called him everything from an idiot to a danger to the country. But here's the thing, very few people actually stopped to consider how complex this issue really is. You need to consider whether countries are in a trade surplus or a trade deficit, the concept of opportunity cost, and how the terms of trade might shift. And what about the price elasticity of the affected goods, or the potential for import substitution? And of course, let's not forget about consumer welfare, or the potential deadweight loss in the market. Now, if you didn't understand a word of that, don't worry, neither did I. Most people don't understand the complex intricacies of the issues they form quick opinions on, and they will probably never be directly affected by the tariffs anyway. Unless you work in one of the industries Gary's targeting, the chances are this whole debate doesn't even impact you. So why do we get so worked up? The media has conditioned us to react immediately and unthinkingly at just about everything going on in the world. Preferably with outrage, since unfortunately we live in a world where news sites live or die by the number of clicks they generate. And for some reason people just love blowing their gasket, I guess. Even if it's a good news story, the media will find a way to bait us into feeling bad about it, by publishing someone's outrageous reaction, for example. And before you know it, we're all frothing at the mouth over something that's probably not that important anyway, and has only been made worse by all the endless noise. So here's the truth. We don't need to have an opinion on everything. Instead of getting angry or picking a side, a more spiritual reaction would be to say, let others squabble over the minute details of taking each other's money. There is enough for me, and there always will be. Others can tie themselves in knots trying to rearrange the material world. I will create my own reality by calling upon the unlimited source. In a world full of noise, you get to choose where your energy goes, and you don't need to invest in every debate. In fact, you don't even need to get involved in any debate. You can rise above it, hold your peace, and stay in alignment with the peace and abundance that is always available to you. People have always found reasons to squabble, and they always will. But what happened to all those disputes of the past? Do they hold any weight now? They were but shifting sands, fleeting and inconsequential in the grand sweep of time. What seems so important today will be gone tomorrow. The only true reality is what is, the truth of the unlimited, whole and perfect source, where all is complete, abundant and eternally harmonious. In fact, from a spiritual perspective, it's best not to get involved in politics at all. No politician really has genuine answers to the world's problems, as much as they might pretend they do. Most political solutions are like filling up a bunch of leaky buckets. Focus too much on one thing and you solve a little problem here, only to find you've completely neglected another issue over there. Or perhaps your solution's created another problem just as bad or worse than the original one. This is what happens when you try to rearrange the physical world without changing the consciousness that created it in the first place. We can make a few temporary changes, but ultimately, until we as a planet grow in consciousness, poverty, crime, and every other societal ill will continue to exist. Politicians can do nothing to truly solve these problems. Even on the very rare occasions where they succeed in improving living standards for a while, the same old cycle always takes over, As people's lives get better, they become weak and soft. Weak people create hard times create strong people, and strong people create good times. And the cycle repeats. And yet, despite all our opinions never seeming to actually achieve anything in the world, we all seem to have them, quite passionate ones often. Instead of trying to solve all the world's problems, our primary spiritual duty is to raise our own consciousness, develop virtue, and help others spiritually and materially when needed. For many of us, we spend more time thinking about economic tariffs placed on industries that aren't even relevant to us, often in countries that aren't even our own, and virtually no time connecting with our local community. We're not meant to save the world, but we are meant to help those around us. It becomes even more absurd when people move on from politics and start finding other things to have opinions about that don't even affect the world in the slightest. Internet drama is one such wormhole that people get sucked into. Like newspaper clickbait, people just love to hate influencers. Not too long ago, there was a drama involving 3 popular influencers who launched a packaged food product aimed at kids. There was a month-long maelstrom of controversy surrounding it, as nutritionists condemned it, commentary vloggers summarised the condemnation video, the influencers each responded to the controversy, and then more videos came out condemning their responses. It was 3 influencers trying to make money by selling junk food to kids. That didn't take a genius to work out. It didn't really require weeks of confected outrage. The only opinion anyone needs on this matter is, I won't give that to my kids. If you're still filling your head with all this noise, just try this for a week and see how you go. Don't read the newspapers. Don't watch the news. Don't get involved in internet drama. If your phone pops up notifications telling you about these things, turn them off. Change to a search engine that doesn't bring up news headlines on its front page. If you must watch YouTube videos, use a browser extension that blocks related videos and only go directly to channels where you know you won't see this kind of stuff. You'll be amazed just how calm you feel when you experience what it's like to live in a quiet, smaller world for the first time. Where once there was an endless stream of chattering noise and controversy, endless things to worry your brain, endless issues or dramas for your brain to expend its energy on. Now, there's just silence. Peaceful silence. If a headline catches your eye and an opinion starts to form, you might wish to pause and reframe it through the lens of eternal truth. For instance, the next time you hear about a politician caught in scandal or corruption, you could shift your response to something like, I pray that this soul soon realizes the truth, that the supply of abundance is infinite, and that there is no need to take what isn't rightfully theirs. Regardless of this situation, the source of all prosperity remains boundless, and there is an abundance of good for me. One individual's mistakes cannot alter this irrefutable truth. When news of international conflict or war reaches your ears, you could choose to redirect your energy in a similar way. While the world may be in turmoil, and many people become caught up in the drama of it all, you could say this: I recognize the suffering of others, but I know that my energy is best spent in peace, not in fueling the flames of fear or anger. Most of us are not directly affected by these distant conflicts, and giving my emotional energy to them doesn't serve those who are suffering. Rather, I choose to hold space for healing and hope for those affected, trusting that my peace contributes to the world's greater harmony, even if only in small, unseen ways. Or if you hear about an influencer selling a product that doesn't align with your values, instead of judgment, you could offer this prayer: I pray that they come to understand that true wealth is not measured in Lamborghinis or mansions, but in peace of heart, the joy of true purpose, and spiritual richness. I trust that the material success that they experience will be redirected towards more meaningful pursuits. Nevertheless, I bless their success and hope it flourishes in a way that brings them closer to their highest truth and purpose. This way, rather than focusing on criticism, you're shifting your energy towards wishing them growth and alignment with a deeper, more enduring form of success. It's not that you should never have any opinions. After all, the universe has gifted us with an intellectual faculty for a reason. Our ability to discern, to make choices, and to evaluate situations thoughtfully is part of the divine intelligence within us. However, too often our opinions are rashly formed instead of wisely discerned. Emotional reactions stemming from the fragile ego, shouting, "I don't like the way this person is behaving," or "I fear there won't be enough for me." The key lies in understanding the difference between genuine discernment, rooted in clarity and wisdom, and impulsive judgment driven by fear, insecurity, or pride. And once we begin to detach ourselves from the habit of constantly forming opinions and judgments about every world event we hear about, a remarkable shift occurs. It becomes far easier to also detach from the circumstances of our own lives. We stop ruminating over our every minor inconvenience. We stop reacting with frustration or anxiety when things don't go our way. Rather than seeing life as a series of things that must go according to our own personal preferences, we begin to see it as an unfolding of experiences, each offering us an opportunity to rise above the surface level reactions. It becomes easier to stay grounded in the eternal truth that regardless of the small ups and downs, all is unfolding perfectly in the grand scheme of the universe. And in that space, we move from reactive living to proactive alignment with peace, presence, and purpose. Imagine the eternal nature of Source as something solid and unshakable, like the sun in the sky. No matter how many clouds pass by, the sun remains constant, always shining. The problems, opinions, and controversies that flood our lives are like the passing clouds, temporary and ever-changing, but ultimately irrelevant to the sun's steady presence. In the same way, we can choose to align with Source, knowing that we are grounded in an unchanging reality of peace, abundance, and love. The fleeting storms of life may cloud our view, but they do not alter the truth of who we are, nor do they change the eternal source from which we all draw our energy. When we align with Source, it's like a sailboat that effortlessly glides through the water, catching the wind and moving forward in perfect harmony. But when we engage in the drama or distractions of the world, it's as if the boat turns against the wind, struggling and exhausting itself. The choice is ours. We can either sail through life with ease, or we can fight against the flow and get caught up in the turbulence of temporary conditions. Imagine living in a world where your joy isn't shaken by the fleeting opinions or events that surround you. Imagine a life where peace and abundance flow effortlessly, where the cares of the world can't touch your deep sense of contentment. In this space, you are aligned with the only true reality, the infinite source of love, peace, and wholeness, where everything is complete and perfect exactly as it is. Here, you're not swayed by the drama or the distractions, because you know that your true essence is untouched by the passing storms of the world. In this reality, nothing outside of you can disturb your inner peace, because you are grounded in the eternal truth that you are always supported, always loved, and always abundant. No matter what happens in the world, you are aligned with the Source where all is whole, complete, and perfect, and always was. This is the life of true freedom, where you rise above the chaos and live in harmony with the abundant peace and joy that is your birthright. Now imagine living each day from this place of unshakable peace. Every moment becomes an opportunity to align with the divine, to express love and abundance, and to create a life that reflects the truth of who you truly are. And when you choose to live from this space, you become a beacon of light in the world, showing others the way to peace, joy, and limitless possibility. This is true reality. This is where your power lies. And when you align with it by keeping your thoughts and your heart full of truth, everything in your life falls into place. May you find that peace soon. Thank you so much for watching, dear friends. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give us a like. It helps the videos to rank better. And if you really enjoyed this, you might want to consider subscribing and hitting the bell button to be notified about our next videos. Next time, I'm going to be discussing the one simple question to find your life's true purpose. I hope you'll join me then. I wish you many blessings and much peace. And good night for now.